how much is this for? 100,000 credits? Fuck off. And you walk away, and you're not able to strike a bargain that you'd like. So because of the fact that you spent your better day trying to find it and failing, you're able to make one more check this time and force to use the intelligence one to search the extranet, kind of like staying up late one night with your feet up on the wall, playing on your tablet, trying to find one.
Fingers crossed. Better.
Okay, so you are able to find, in fact, somebody that's looking to sell a decent rifle. However, the asking price for this rifle is, in fact, 8,000 credits to get your hands on it. You haven't looked at it yourself. You just know that you've looked at the specifications, everything that they've shown online. You haven't had an opportunity to shoot it, and you're like, damn, look at the power behind this thing. This thing is looking meaty and sexy. They are more than willing to make a meeting with you, so you can give it a couple of shots and see whether or not you want to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
You set that meeting, and you're able to go and speak with the person. Just looking at something really quickly. To go speak with the person and have a conversation with them. And so it is a Taurian rifle. However, the person selling it happens to be, lo and behold, another Volus that happens to have their hands on it. It's not that I favor Volus here. It's just that they're amongst the best traders in the galaxy. So you go walking up to this Volus. So you have the meeting with the Volus, and he meets with you, and he's like,
"Hello, Earthclan. I found it strange to hear from one of your kind."
You might say that, but you might change your mind when you find out what we're doing with you. Your kind.
What does that mean exactly?
That's very tough. But the Earth clan that you refer to us as, we're actually in the process of helping your kind at the moment. In the military.
You're helping out. You're
yes,
helping out the Phalasard clan?
Ollie?
no.
No.
No, not even a little bit.
No.
No, not that particular fan. I do apologise. We're still learning. I'm just very glad to be making some contacts with your kind.
Well, I'm glad that you're here to look at this rifle as well, Earthclan. Your name, I believe, was Ward.
Lena Ward.
Ward. Well, Ward. Here is the rifle. I hope you enjoy the specifications of it. Let me show you the details.
And so he actually does show you the details of the rifle. It looks it over and everything, and hands it to you. So one of the things that you notice about this rifle is, for 8,000 credits, one of the things you notice about this rifle is, one, it has a laser sight on it, but the laser is actually an ultraviolet laser. So part of it comes with a little chip that you're going to put into your HUD, to your heads-up display, because the ultraviolet laser that it uses to see is outside of the range of vision of most species, including that of humans. So since it's outside of the range of sight that most people can see, with the HUD display on, you can use the laser sight without necessarily your target seeing there's a bead on the side of their head, right?
That's nice.
So that actually is going to give you an increased accuracy at all ranges. Beyond that, the range of this thing is going to increase from 1K to 3K to a whole 1.5 to 4K, which is like, why would you ever need to shoot that far? But it does. The damage for this thing is actually going to increase. Why, thank you very much. I'm getting breakfast delivered to me. I feel
It's hilarious.
I feel amazing. Yes, because it's early here.
1.5 to what, sorry?
1.5 to 4K.
4.5.
To 4, yeah. The damage is going to increase for it as well, because it's just going to do a flat increase of damage. But here's probably the best part about the entire thing. It can shoot twice before overheating. And this is a huge thing. You can get 2 shots before you have to put the thing down to start like getting back some of its cooldown. So increased accuracy, increased range, increased damage, and it's 2 shots. So you line this thing up and you go to pull the trigger to take the shot. And here's where a slight penalty comes in. You go to take that shot, and you know, not one shot, but several shots. But you notice that on this thing, there is, in fact, a kickback on it. On all weapons, there's a kickback, even though it's reduced because of the fact that everything's encased in its own little, like mass effect fields or whatever. This thing has a big enough kick on it that you know that if you were to take a second shot without, like, recentering yourself, that second shot you take with this is going to have some serious penalties to it. It's going to be, like, without, like... it's more or less going to be a hip shot with a sniper rifle. So
how long does it take to reposition myself?
probably about a few moments, which in gaming terms means a round, meaning every other round you would have to shoot anyways. But if you chose to make that second attack, you would just take it with penalties. You don't know what the penalties are.
Okay. See, hold on. So when you say about being around, I would have to reposition myself the next time, so I wouldn't be able to shoot it one round, then one round, then
You
one
can
round.
definitely shoot 2 rounds in a row if you wanted to. You can definitely shoot it 2 rounds in a row if you wanted to, but the second round would have the recoil.
Right. Okay.
So, seeing you struggling with this, with the person, he is going to tell you. Oh, put down my turkey bacon. He is going to tell you.
I see that you are not exactly the most stout of the Earth clan I've ever seen. Might I make a suggestion? The Taurians themselves, the ones that made this type of sniper rifle, are also not exactly the most stout either. Their way of getting around this when dealing with the more frail soldiers is to have it mounted correctly into a surface that can handle the recoil for them. I unfortunately do not have any of those mounts on me. However, I can certainly find one for you and sell it to you for a reasonable price.
Or reasonable.
I would have to check my inventory, but why don't we just settle it for 600 credits? That would bring the entire cost to 8,600 credits, I believe.
Can I try and convince him to put that price down? Haggle?
Yeah, you most certainly can. You can try another trade charisma check.
Charisma, don't let me down.
I was about to say the last one went so well.
Oh, certainly try it again.
Terrible.
All right.
Very well, you make yourself a good point. Buying both of them together, if you were to pay the monies up front, I'm willing to... Ooh, loud thunder. I'm willing
Not
to...
even I had that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Right? Holy
I
crap.
had them there.
The storm's not gone yet. So, he says,
I'm willing to sell you the entire bundle for 8,300.
Got a deal.
and so he will sell that to you, and you'll have the mount shipped to you in the future. Just so you know, the way the mount works is if you choose to mount it, that takes an additional round, and the way it goes is you drop the mount down onto a surface, and the mount actually like shoots spikes into the surface and hold itself steady. So whether it be rock or anything like that, it'll actually shoot itself into the surface and lock itself in place, so it can take that whole recoil for you, applying none of the penalty that you otherwise would have taken. However, adding the additional penalty of you now can easily be seen where somebody was making a shot from, right? It leaves marks behind that there was in fact something mounted here. Okay.
Yep.
So there's something to keep in mind as a sniper rifle who likes to be sneaky. All right, so you are going to pay the 8,300 credits and get all of this, rookie?
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be to your attack roll a +1, to your damage roll a +2. The ammo went up to the 2 that you already know about, and the range went up that you already know about. The other sniper rifle that you owned, you still own. It's just too big for you to carry both of them around. You would just leave it into your personal locker.
Yeah.
Okay? Beautiful. It is a Taurian sniper rifle that you have. All right.
The damage and attack is +2.
What was that?
The damage and attack was +2. Is that what you said?
Chance to hit was +1. Damage was +2. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And I'm sorry, Carmine. Anything else?
Well, I might look into some modifications for the assault rifle, but I don't really need more range, I don't think. So
Yep.
I'd just be looking at things like extra accuracy or damage.
Sure. So once again, you can easily get like a scope put on there, like a laser scope. That something like that is as simple as 350 credits, just to have like a typical infrared laser scope put on there, and that would increase your accuracy by 1, no question.
Okay, that sounds good. Could I get that for the shotgun as well, or would that not fit?
Absolutely would. You can
All
get
right,
that for
so
your
that's
pistol
700.
as well.
Yeah, why not? We're spending
Since you're buying 3 of them, I'll tell you 1,000.
1,000. That's a
50
deal.
credits off. There you go. Anything else you'd want to get? More thermal clips?
I don't think I'll need that many. That's like I've got one. That's fine at the moment. I might get let's see, it's like 2 grenades for a readied slot, isn't it?
I think it was 2 grenades for ready slot. I'm almost positive. So you want to get yourself some grenades?
Yeah, I'll get 3.
Awesome. And then your Omniblade, did you want any modifications to that, or are you happy?
If I could make that more accurate in any way.
It wouldn't necessarily be more accurate. It'd be more damage.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Sure. Let me just look at it really quickly. So the Omniblade, you can have it do you can have it do one of 2 things. One, increase the damage for it. Give it a +1, or increase the damage die by a 1d6 to a 1d8. Or you can add on, or I should say and, because you got enough money. You can upgrade it so it also has a shocking factor. So the shock factor hurts the shields as well. Won't hurt the person until the shields are gone, but it hurts the shields as well.
I'll probably just go to flat out damage.
Flat out damage? Sure. So you want to go for the +1 or the increase to a d8?
I'll go for the +1. Like D8, it has the potential of doing 2, but it has like 60 or 75% chance to do just the same. So
Yep.
flat
Okay.
+1 is always better, I think.
Absolutely. So more or less what happens is the color of your Omniblade, because it's now being customized, you can choose the color of your Omniblade, and it changes to be a much harder, denser material when it forms with the gel. Okay? Anything else that you cared about doing with your character, or are you good?
I'm good. I'll have 4 grenades, so I'll have 2 spare. I'll have a lot more accuracy in all my things. I'm good.
Awesome. And Ollie, did you make any decisions, or are you just saying, nope, I'll figure it out?
I did. I bought/built a drone named Eurus.
Eurus.
It is a sleeper drone.
Okay.
A sleeper drone, which is basically I'll be hiding somewhere piloting this drone. It has a light pistol weapons fitted. It has an observation suite, so it can see in infrared and stuff like that. It automatically has station keeping, and it is holding my engineering toolkit and 2 Medigel, so if it's flying beside you, remember that. It is holding stuff, because it's got loads of stuff. So yeah, I have this little drone, but I didn't break the bank because I don't want to be super suspicious.
So I need you to do 2 things for me. One,
Yep.
describe what a sleeper drone is mechanically for everybody. And 2, describe what it actually looks like for everybody. Thank you.
So a sleeper drone mechanically is basically a mid-tier drone that is a little more defensive than others, but the main thing it has a power called station keeping, which means if no one's controlling it, it just hovers on its own, and it just kind of goes into low power mode, whereas other drones just crash if you don't have this, because you haven't like parked them. This one will, if I need to like really quickly like yank out of control, because I'll be controlling it via my Omni tool, right? It just sort of stays there. It just kind of goes into low power mode. And appearance-wise, I'm looking up drones right now. It would be not quite the full Mass Effect style where it's like a spinning ball of energy, right? Because this actually is holding tangible things. But it definitely would have orange energy and Mass Effect stuff going on below it. But it almost looks like a sort of like a disc-like thing. Imagine like a Tau drone from Warhammer 40k. You can't even see the pistol in it until like you point it out, and it's got little canisters that open that has stuff in it. Like it's literally, these guys would be allowed to open it. Because I imagine it has sort of a fingerprint lock. Like if a phone does, a drone does. So I would have like they can open it and get the stuff inside. And
It's a
got little
glorified
cameras-
handbag.
It's Rockwell's handbag now. Because it hovers on its own, right? So he's just going to be dragging it along everywhere, like, carrying it with him, like sending it like follow, like. But yeah, it's It's great because he's not very strong as well. So this is going to be carrying all his stuff from the future onward.
So the power cell that it takes to power this thing, how long does it last for before it?
I couldn't find it actually saying that on the thing. But what it does say is that a day of being powered down because it has station keeping only takes 5 minutes of charge. But it doesn't say anywhere about power cells how long they last.
Okay. I think it's probably a day per. So you might, and I'm pretty sure it's Type A batteries. So power cells. So you might want to grab a couple extra power cells in case you're on a mission for longer than a day.
Sure. I would love if this rule set told me how it worked though. At least in obvious terms. It probably does, but like somewhere unrelated, right?
Yeah. But that's okay because logic
easy.
dictates that that's most likely how it works based off how everything else does. And if we need to adjust in the future, we can. Okay, one of the last things I want to point out, if you guys are looking to spend any amount more of money, so there's two things. Two things I want to mention. One, there is a translator torque. It's something that you can use. It's not fully functional, but it helps to translate languages spoken by these other races, so you can hear what they're saying rather than just hearing like. So you could actually understand what they're saying. That's an option. Translator torques. They hook onto your HUD display, and when they translate, it translates directly into only you hearing. You can't really broadcast what it's saying because it's just coming into the audio in part of your headset. You'd have to like hotwire it to then broadcast afterwards, but who knows what damage you could do with that. And then the other thing was there's what are they called? What are they called? Telekinetic generators? 1 second. Yeah. So the whole idea is, and you guys have actually seen this if you played the Mass Effect games, is the idea is that you can actually throw down this little device that puts up an actual shield around you, so it shields an area as opposed to just having your personal shields. Something like that is, they're not cheap. I think telekinetic generator is what it is. They're not cheap, and they only work for so long, but they give you shields inside your shields. You can't shoot out, and nobody can shoot in, but you can walk through them. Like, you can 100% walk through them, so it's a way to keep yourself safe from a distance, but not necessarily safe from melee.
Would that be a one-time use?
The device itself is many uses. The battery in it is a one-time use.
10 strength, operate it manually. Yeah, so we need to do it manually because we're not psychic. And it uses one power cell. And Rockwell will actually buy that, and based on how heavy it is, it'll be inside the drone. Which hopefully means I can just be like, you'd be like, power it up and just like around the drone, which would be badass, but I don't know if Scott would let us do that.
Hold on 1 second.
I was thinking of buying it because of,
guess what? I'm going to buy
basically
a
the
bunch
medic
more
now.
power cells.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Figure, if I have and someone's like really injured and we're like, get him on his feet, I just toss that thing down and we'd be like, yeah, I can help you now.
Well, yeah.
It is not a telekinetic generator.
Drone,
A telekinetic generator, my apologies. That is something that actually generates power. So you can like have something constantly powered. My apologies. I'll find out what it's called in a second. But I can find out during the next break. But is there anything else you guys wanted to do before we finish shopping and actually get back to playing the damn game?
I'll try a new pair of boots.
Huh?
A new pair of boots?
A new pair of boots. You know what? You get a new pair of boots. They're good boots, too. They're really good boots.
I'm glad.
I'm glad that you guys were able to retrofit and get all these amazing...
come back with all these toys, and I'm like... Lena comes in with this big alien weapon, I'm like, we're meant to be maybe not flaunting that we came into a quick amount of money. And I'm gonna say with like a drone, and you're like, shiny boots.
I just think it's funny that nobody went like, you know what, I'm going to get some biomechanical upgrades put to my...
I looked, but again, that's way too suspicious. We can't just do that stuff.
My close combat.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. You get, oh, sorry, how much do those cost? Those are actually rather cheap. I think they were 200 credits. Give me 1 second to scroll back up and find out for you. I think it was 200 credits, and it is cheaper than that. It's going to be 100 credits.
Ooh, easy. That's just coming up my personal credits then.
Yep, cool.
So what am I putting this on, like my character sheet? What do I?
It's so the attack rolls unarmed. The damage is 1d4, and then we'll just know that you could probably do a separate attack underneath that has that does 1d10. And that way you know that that's what hurts shields.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Good.
Are we ready?
All right. Good. Let's get back to well, it's kind of funny actually. We're almost circled around to the next break time, but let's get some stuff going before we take this this break, so you guys can do whatever you got to do. And I'm gonna scarf the rest of my food like an animal.
It's actually gone like an hour. We've been doing.
Yeah, we've been shopping
that
for a
long.
while.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I spent entire sessions doing the shopping part of
Unfortunately,
RPGs, you know.
Unfortunately, when you shop mid-session, it takes a lot of time to do so. And I've done like, because my sessions prior to being on the interwebs doing D&D and stuff like that used to be 8 to 12 hours long, where my sessions minimum 8 hours long, and you could spend one of those sessions shopping if you were like finding the right things or whatever. So moving on. You guys are get back onto the Stalingrad. You have your new things. Nobody questions what all he has. Nobody questions the fact that he has this little, because he can throw it into his backpack and then puts it where he can keep it hidden or whatever, and everything's good to go. And then there is the stuff that Carmine brings on. Again, nobody questions. Somebody might say nice boots, but nobody questions his rifle, because it's the same rifle. He gets a nice shotgun, but nobody questions that. They know that he's been pestering people for a long while, the requisitions officer for a while, to get his hands on it. And she eventually is like, no, and she'll be like, I see you got a shotgun, you know, whatever. So there's that. And then finally, when Carmine comes on, Ward comes on, they all look at that and they're just kind of like, and literally, as she's taking apart and getting familiar with the disassembly, the cleaning, and the reassembly of the rifle over on the bench and everything, lots of people kind of like look over their shoulder and look at it and try to see what it is. Nobody directly asks questions, but there's certainly a lot of glances and questions that are like silently asked amongst each other. Somebody will actually come up to Carmine and be like, "Hey, did you see what Ward got?"
Yeah, I hear she's been saving for a while. Well, you know what those X4s get up to. I don't know, but and I'm glad to know that she's got good stuff. You know, that makes me feel safe. Not that I need anyone to make me feel safe, but.
But is that like a prototype? That doesn't look human.
You never know with these aliens.
Oh.
We do need to know what they're up to, what they use. So who knows?
Dare him to ask me to my face.
I mean, if you really want to find out, you can always just ask her, but I doubt you'd get an answer.
Nope.
No, you.
Nope. I asking you because I know you're a friend. I'll leave it at that. And the Vesuvius
She's scary.
The Vesuvius eventually goes and gets to the area where it's going to drop it, where it's going to drop you guys off. And we're gonna take our break now. When we come back, we're gonna come back from the whatchamacallit. When we come back from our quick little break, we're gonna come back to you getting your briefing and actually jumping into the mission itself. So we'll take a quick break and see that happen. So see you shortly.